surgery for this bladder cancer. What can you tell us?
All I know is Deion called me one morning and said, "Hey man, I'm about to have surgery." And I'm like, I'm thinking about his toe or his knee or something. He said, "Man, it's cancer." And I'm like, "Whoa!" So I'm like, "Where do I go?" And he's like, "Nah, I'm in Colorado. I'm in good hands. Just wait, and I'll let you know." And then two days after he had the surgery, I'm calling his people there. He finally comes and said, "I'm all right. I'll be home in a week." How you gonna have surgery and gonna be home in a week? So, but they didn't let him come home that soon. They gave him another week, but he got it. He broke out of the hospital with his top assistant from Colorado. She knew what to do, and I went and visited him every week after that. Just, talking to him, telling him to do what's right. Since you're not gonna stay in the hospital, please do what's right while you're at the house, and he did. And his first goal was to make it to the Big 12 conference. I think he did that, and then he wanted to see his kids. He did that, and then boom, he's at Colorado making his I guess it ain't his announcement or whatever it was, So I'm glad he's all right. He had dropped down to about 170 pounds, and he worried about his weight. I'm like, man, I wish I could drop down to 170 pounds. Not that way, but hey, I'm happy for him. Pray for him. Just keep going, and appreciate the doctors doing what they did through the grace of God.
So what was your immediate reaction when you heard that he had bladder cancer?
Man, I almost started crying because you just got to think, I'm sitting in the bed at 7 o'clock and I see the phone going, and I normally don't bother it, but something made me grab it, and he told me that. Man, I'm like, my wife looks over at me and say, "Hey, baby, you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, Prime just called me with this situation with cancer." She's like, "Wow." And I just like, whoa. And I just started praying. You know me, man. I'm just, when it comes to my boys, it hurts, man. And even to this day, just to think about it, man. And now he's back up on his feet, doing what he's got to do, letting the world know. He let several people know, but he wanted it quiet, so I said nothing.
He always has such a positive spirit about him. What about during this time, even though he gets a diagnosis like that?
It was like he had the surgery and it was over and it never happened. Hey man, I'm doing this today. I'm trying to do this, and we were walking around. He got this little thing. We were walking around a couple of times when I go out there to visit him, and he always talked about it like it was just like a football game or something. Like, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. This is how I'm gonna do it. These are my goals, and this is how I'm gonna do it. And I'm like, that's positive, and for those that don't know, he is a follower of Christ, so his beliefs is unreal. So that's prime time, Deion.
Isn't it amazing? One of the greatest athletes of all time, and the physical things that he's had to go through, from his toe to this now.
I look at that, and sometimes I'm, because we'll have on shorts or whatever, and he dressed, when you go to the house, he dressed like a normal human. And I'm looking at his toe gone and his leg gashed, and now there's tubes running out of him. Like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? But he acts like it's nothing. He acts like it's nothing, man. And when you got a guy like that around you, and all he kept talking about, and I think those kids kept him going, was, I got to get back to my kids, but I can't get back at 170. Can't get back at 100. I got to be 192 plus. And so that was his goal, to get back to say, when his kids saw him, he said, I want them to see a dog. I want them to see a dog. I'm like, okay, they're going to see a dog, but you know how much you got to eat to get back those 20 pounds?
He came to the right guy. He came to Nate Newton to find out how to put on weight.
French fries, or out of French fries.